Nigeria, Africa's biggest economy, is beset with many uncertainties as well as endless possibilities. The synergy of the public and private sector is pivotal to the emergence of a sustainable economic growth pattern that will benefit all citizens. Watch Business Trends, the platform where experts, public and private sector policy strategists, CEOs and regulators share their views on the growth prospects of the nation's economy. Watch Business Trends at these times.
It's another beautiful afternoon and it's my pleasure to have you join us on Business Trends with me, Izine Egasi. This is our financial maxim program where we share general economic and financial issues. Just stay with us. On our first story for today, the President Muhammadu Buhari is expected to intervene in the ongoing standoff between the management of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC) and the Federation Account Allocation Committee over unremitted funds by the corporation. This was the outcome of the meeting between the Governors Forum and the Minister of Finance and the Chief of Staff to the President. Here's the report.
Addressing journalists after the meeting in Abuja, Chairman of the Governors Forum and Zamfara State Governor Abdulaziz Yari said there is a headway to the problem as President Buhari and the Minister of Finance will meet with NNPC officials to resolve the problem with FAAC. Minister of Finance Kemi Adeosun said meetings were being held to find lasting solution to the problem. She also insisted that the standoff between FAAC and NNPC is a healthy process.
Initially it was supposed to be a private, but it's turned to a kind of official because, we're supposed to hold the Federation Allocation Committee meeting since last week, which became a deadlock. That's why we come to discuss with the President. And eventually in the point of discussion that the Chief of Staff decided to invite the Honorable Minister so that we can discuss further and fine-tune how best we are going to deal with the issue that we have at hand. That's, I think. Any headway now? Yeah, there's headway because the President and the Minister of Finance will meet with the, I think, NNPC official where the problem is, quantum the problems comes from, so that we resolve it and then we move with normal operation of the Federation Account Committee.
Every agency is in the TSA, but FAAC is unique. FAAC is a meeting that every month all the revenue generating agencies make their returns, and those returns are net of their expenses. So it is the area of expenses where we have dispute. The area is not, the dispute is not in what was the gross revenue. The area of dispute is what has been deducted from that gross revenue to give us the net, which is being brought into the FAAC account. That's where the area of dispute is. But I think this is a healthy process. We must be satisfied with figures before we sign off on them. We must, as stakeholders, make sure that all our agencies are aligned with the programs of government in terms of getting this economy really moving. And of course, we still are very much dependent on oil, on NNPC for our revenue. So we do have to sometimes have these I see them more as reconciliations than standoffs, but I'm very sure that we'll get the FAAC.
She had predicted a slight delay in the payment of June salaries to workers, particularly at the state levels, owing to the under-remittances by the NNPC. Some of the reasons NNPC adduced for the under-remittance to FAAC was the discrepancies in the operational cost for the corporation from what NNPC generates they spend to take care of their running cost.
Alright, so FAAC is a monthly forum where state government and federal government meets to share money generated through the sale of oil and other revenues. We are hopeful that the standoff between the NNPC and the FAAC will be solved before very long. Moving on now, small business owners have refuted the claim of power supply improvement, saying the situation has gone out of hand despite a statement by the Benin Electricity Development Company (BEDC) in Warri, claiming power supply has improved in the last 2 months.
The Deco community and other parts of Warri, where some small business owners expressed their views, were visited. Speaking on the epileptic power supply, some small business owners said there have not been any improvements.
My best ability or my observation, there has not been improvement in the light sector or in the supply of lights. Because, for example, if they could say, they are giving light for 12 hours for a day, and along the line they give 13 hours or 14 hours, it has not really been any improvement in that. We pay for the light so that we can enjoy it. So I've not really seen an improvement, because every now and then the light is put off. Most of the time they bring the lights at night. They shift it, their sharing method. It hasn't been so many years.
In fact, the lights has become worse than what it is in the past administration, because what I'm seeing is darkness, everyday darkness. I've not seen where I have lights for constant hours. In the previous government, I have my light here in Mori, where I stay at Mebire. I have light for 3 days, no power failure. But now, I don't even see light for 2 hours. Not even seeing an increase of light. There's no light increasement. Before now, Fashola, when he was a governor, he said a serious government will fix light for 6 months. And what are they doing now? They are just fail in the past. Just fail. They cannot fix light. They should do that place and let other persons come on board.
Also speaking, an artisan who specializes in repairing phones said the dependent power generators as BEDC has failed to redeem its promise.
Because, as you see now, I don't have light here. We don't see light to work. Everybody around we are using gen. Even in our houses, the light is not steady. And I learned that in some areas it's rationed. And when it comes to the day that they're supposed to give that area light, they will not still give them light. And the bill will still run, whether they use light or not. So I thought that by now, the president administrative in office, the person of President Muhammad Buhari, should have done this through the Minister of Power, the person of Fashola. But I'm just pleading to the federal government that they should improve on it.
Efforts to reach the public affairs manager of the BEDC in Warri, Helen Ogaguri, on the issued statement proved abortive, as phone calls to her lines were not returned.
While small business owners need enough electricity supply to avoid running out of business, believe that the federal government is taking steps towards the right direction on this issue. Now let's take a look at the aviation sector, where the team of Airport Council International Program is in Kaduna to inspect and certify the Kaduna International Airport ready for landing and takeoff with the required global standard. The team is to take the airport through the certification process, which is to inspect the infrastructure and end by September or October this year, and will make the airport amongst the certified airports in the world.
The manager at Kaduna International Airport, Amina Salami, while addressing newsmen, said she's confident that the management will meet the requirement before the next 6 months.
What it means is that when Kaduna Airport is certified, it is safe for any aircraft to land in Kaduna International Airport, and they are to improve on our safety on the whole infrastructures, as he earlier said. A certification, as I earlier said, is to make sure that Kaduna Airport is safe for any kind of aircraft to operate into, in and out, landing or taking off. That's what it means. It means Kaduna Airport will join the league of airports that have been certified. That is making it okay for landing and taking off.
The airport certification team leader said it is an international program aimed at assisting its members with recommendations on areas that need improvement in the airport system and its general safety. This is supposed to be a 6-month process.
Nigeria, Africa's biggest economy, is beset with many uncertainties as well as endless possibilities. The synergy of the public and private sector is pivotal to the emergence of a sustainable economic growth pattern that will benefit all citizens. Watch Business Trends, the platform where experts, public and private sector policy strategists, CEOs and regulators share their views on the growth prospects of the nation's economy. Watch Business Trends at these times.
Whilst Lagos Airport retained its Category 1 status, Kaduna Airport is on the verge, and I believe they will pull through. But in the meantime, the Nigerian Customs Service Federal Operations Unit Zone B has intercepted a petrol tanker and other vehicles smuggling rice and some other items from the northern part of the country to the east. This, they said, was possible based on intelligence reports received from members of the public. The goods were intercepted at various locations between Abuja, Lokoja, Zaria, Kano, and Kaduna states.
Controller Usman Dakingari, the controller Nigeria Customs Service Federal Operations Zone B, said in their desperate measures trying to smuggle rice by all means, a petrol tanker was used to carry rice.
In the sense that ordinarily an empty tanker is supposed to ferry petroleum products, but surprisingly, as we told you before, when we went to Katsina and even here in this head office, we have seen soft drinks vehicle converted into rice, into means of carrying of rice smuggled. We have seen another soft drinks vehicle again converted for the carriage of second-hand clothes. So today, this ingenious tanker is used to carry rice. So it's just to show you how desperate the extent to which a smuggler is going to see that he does his nefarious activities. Duty paid value now, you see at times where we don't rush it in our own way, technically both the contents and the means of conveyance are liable. Therefore, duty paid value is now based, in this case, is the tanker and the rice.
He stated that bags of rice were disguised as bags of maize by the smugglers to perpetrate their evil act.
The culprits, as you can see, we have a suspect. The suspect is there giving his statement, maybe based on the bail issue. After bailing him, then at the appropriate time he can be taken to court. Within Nigeria, it's not banned for now. It's agricultural produce, you can see. So maize, if you go deep inside, that is maize outward, but inside you will be surprised and shocked. That you will be surprised that, as we are saying, the desperation continues. We have been talking of desperation of smugglers and their agents. So it's part of it. Ordinarily, this truck that was apprehended based on credible information was heading for the eastern part of the country, as presumably to sell maize there. But they have not known, as we have said it, I will continue to say, they work 24 hours to beat us and work 24 hours to sabotage them. So it's exactly what happened. Based on this intelligence information, you will be surprised to see a bag of rice inside a bigger bag of local bag of maize.
While addressing newsmen, the controller customs in charge of Zone B said they will continue to work hard, devising new means to stop the smugglers.
Now, still on the issue of smuggling, men of the Nigerian Customs Service, again in Ogun State Command, have generated more than 2.6 billion naira from 276 seizures in the last 6 months, with a duty paid value of about 1.4 billion naira. The controller of the customs in the state, Michael Agbara, made this known while briefing journalists about the achievement of his command in the last few months.
He noted that his men have been able to seize more than 15,000 bags of foreign-produced rice under review, citing a special case of repackaging of foreign rice with a local manufacturer's sacks as an example.
We have seized 37 vehicles comprising 21 tokumbos of various types of vehicles and 16 means of conveyance. We have equally made seizure of 3,000 bags of rice, foreign parboiled rice of 50 kg each, of which I want to let you know that among them we have a spectacular development that we need to bring to the public knowledge. There is a truck we apprehended conveying 600 bags of rice, branded in locally branded bags. And surprisingly, what we found is that the rice content is foreign parboiled rice, while the bag is that of a popular local producer of rice. So you can see the extent people go.
On usage of commercial motorcycles as means of conveyance through the bush parts, the controller said his men have arrested most of them, even with their motorcycles.
It's one of the challenges that we are facing. Okada. You see, the choice is just like being caught between the devil and the deep blue sea. The Okada are prone to accident. This is a tarred road. Somebody who carry a bag of rice, you pursue them. At the end, if they fall and they are injured or they die, the village or the community will turn their anger to custom that you are killing their people. But what we have done is that we have been sensitizing the communities, discourage their youth from doing this, because we cannot leave them. But we are not tolerating them. If you go inside here, you see the number of motorcycles, you'll be surprised. It's as if we have a factory here. But we are doing that. But you know, if you look at the environment, most of them, they take smuggling as a do or die affair. So we see our pockets of them doing that, but they are just doing it, buying time. Very soon they'll meet their Waterloo.
Now it's actually very obvious that the different commands of the Nigerian Customs Service are leaving no stones unturned in fighting this bane. That's all we can accommodate on the program for today. I'm Izinne Egasi. For more information on this report, you can visit our website displayed on your screen. Do have an amazing day.